Do you think she's fit to be the next INEC chairman?
I am Professor Mrs. Nnenna Oti from Abia, Governorship State.
In Nigeria today, stories of electoral manipulation, compromised mandates, and political pressure often dominate headlines. But once in a while, someone emerges who stands firm, who says no when many would bow. Professor Nnenna Nnannaya Oti is one of such person. Many Nigerians are now calling for her to become the next chair of INEC. Why, if you may ask? Because of what she did during the Abia Governorship Election and because of who she really is. A scholar, a leader, a person of principle. Over the next few minutes, we'll walk you through Professor Oti's biography and rise, what really happened in Abia 2023 election, the pressure, the intimidation, and integrity, and why people are now calling for her to lead INEC. What it will mean for electoral integrity if she is chosen. Questions we should be asking ourselves as Nigerians. Nnenna Nnannaya Oti was born on November 15, 1958 in Afikpo, North Ebonyi State. From her earliest years, she pursued academic excellence. She earned her Bachelor of Agriculture degree in Soil Science from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, graduating with first-class honors. She followed that with a master's degree concentrating on soil biology and biochemistry at UNN. Her academic journey continued abroad. She gained a postgraduate diploma in irrigation engineering with distinction from Catholic University Leuven, Belgium. She later earned a PhD in soil and environmental conservation from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Her PhD work was recognized as one of the best in Nigeria. At FUTO, she served in multiple leadership roles: Head of Department of Soil Science and Technology, 3 terms, Dean of the Postgraduate School, and Chair of the Gender Policy Unit. In April 2021, she made history by becoming FUTO's first female substantive Vice Chancellor. Her reputation in academia is strong. Over 70 peer-reviewed publications consulting work with governmental agencies like TET Fund and international exposure through visiting scholar roles. In March 2023, Abia State held a contentious governorship election. Professor Oti served as the returning officer for that election. Her role was pivotal. She was the person responsible for overseeing the collation and declaration of results.
My guiding principles since I started collation activities for the Abia State Governorship Election on Sunday, 19th March 2023. 1. I am Professor Mrs. Nnenna Oti from Abia Governorship State. 2. I am the current Vice Chancellor of FUTO, that is, the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. 3. Democracy remains the best form of government. And democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is the best form of governance. 4. I have spent the better part of my adult life in pursuit of the high ideals of good governance, which includes, but are not limited to, the following: the rule of law, transparency, accountability, inclusiveness, etc. I shall stand squarely, unapologetically, on these principles. Right. Therefore, the people's voice and mandate shall stand. The pastor in me and the mother in me also will not permit me to do anything that will adversely affect the future of our children. I shall do right. Oti, Alex, Chairman of Labour Party, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
During the election, there was intense pressure on her to manipulate or compromise results. According to reports, political actors from the ruling party in Abia, the PDP, attempted to bribe her to alter votes or accept inflated numbers in certain local government areas. One particular controversial instance involved alleged magical votes from Obingwa local government area. Claims that over 108,000 votes were being reported, a number that, when checked using the bimodal voter accreditation system, dropped dramatically to about 27,664 votes. Faced with threats, intimidation, and offers of payment, Professor Oti reportedly stood firm. She's quoted saying things like, "If I perish, I perish."
My duty came calling, and I said, if I perish, I perish.
She emphasized that under her watch, votes must count. She also said the pastor in me and the mother in me would not allow wrongdoing.
The pastor in me and the mother in me also will not permit me to do anything that will adversely affect the future of our children.
In the end, she declared the winner, Alex Oti of the Labour Party. After the collation of outstanding results, he polled 175,467 votes, defeating PDP's Oke Ahiwe, who had 88,529 votes. Her declaration was widely hailed, especially because there were expectations from some corners that the result might be compromised. Her integrity during the election earned her continuous praise from civil society, from ordinary citizens, and even from Governor Alex Oti himself.
As electoral officer, I have never in my life, never participated in any election. My duty came calling, and I said,
And then Zimbabwe at all. If I perish, I perish. Amadu gave mayor. They came with their threats. They came with their money. They came with their intimidation. I have never defrauded anyone. Never. Under me, votes must count. Under me, the people's mandate will be upheld. Because Professor Nnenna Oti, the mother of 3 children, and the wife of Nnenna Oti, can never do evil. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
Given that track record, it is not surprising that many Nigerians see her as a strong contender for the role of INEC Chairperson. The reasons being that she has proven integrity, she resisted bribery and intimidation in Abia State, the ensured votes were counted even when powerful interests pressured her. That kind of moral backbone is very rare. Another reason is her academic leadership and administrative experience. As VC of FUTO, she has managed large budgets, staff, policy, research, and institutional governance. She knows systems. This is not a person with no administrative chops. Another one is the public perception and trust. Her actions have earned her credibility not only among academics but among ordinary voters who want fair elections. Her widespread praise suggests many believe she would have bring accountability to INEC. Having someone who has demonstrated courage occupy such a key electoral position would signal a shift. It would suggest that electoral governance is not only about technicalities but also about character. Being a woman of excellence, Professor Oti offers an example for female leadership in academics, public service, and elections. That adds weight to calls for our inclusion at INEC top levels. And of course, elevating someone to the role of INEC chair is not just about popular opinion. There are important questions and potential challenges. There is a political resistance, institutional support, and systemic constraints. Neutrality and perception. Some critics pointed out that Professor Oti's action during the Abia election, though widely applauded, were interpreted by some partial or biased. For example, the PDP governor of Abia, Okezie Ikpeazu, challenged her to name those who offered her money. While recognition of her integrity is high, political opponents might attempt to frame her as a political actor.
I have not met that professor, and I am shocked because in the first place, I think if she's a professor really, she should know that she doesn't even have the capacity to manipulate results, because these are results that must have emanated from the units collected at the ward, collected at the local government, and brought to for her to just add them up and announce. I've not met her before. I've not spoken to her. If I've met her, if I've spoken to her, let her come to the public and declare so. So I'm shocked that she's making a big noise out of nothing. The only thing was that at some point when I saw the coincidence in them and traced a little bit of her background, I complained to INEC that this lady was not going to be fair. But they told me that they assured me that they profiled her, but I'm still shocked. And what she has betrayed in the aftermath of her service, hostage worship in Abia, indicates the fact that she is visibly happy with what she did, which means her level of bias in that regard could be placed in favor of one party or another.
I don't think that she did right.
Well, she has betrayed that she had something at the back of her mind, a mindset of her own before she came. But For me, that'll be it.
What would you ascribe to the loss of your party?
Even if INEC's chairperson is incorruptible, systemic challenges remain: funding, infrastructure, legal loopholes, influence by ruling parties, security. Can those be reformed or insulated? Assuming she becomes the INEC chair, what might change? Well, more resistance to manipulation of votes. She has already shown precedent. There is possibly stronger implementation of electoral technologies with accountability to ensure results reflect accredited votes. Professor Nnenna Oti's story is not just one of academic achievements. It's a story of courage. It's a story about what happens when someone in power refuses to let fear or money dictate the outcome. Now, as Nigerians call for her to become the INEC chairperson, the question is the system ready for someone who won't bend? Let me leave you with a few questions to think about, and please share in the comments. Do you believe Professor Nnenna Oti has the integrity and capacity to lead INEC aright? What qualities you think are most critical for someone who heads Electoral Commission in Nigeria? If she becomes INEC chair, what would you expect and what would you demand? Because at the heart of democracy is trust, and without people like Nnenna Oti, that trust begins to erode.
In 2023, sometime in March, God decided to complete a job that He has started in 2015. I was somewhere and I got a message that Professor Nnenna Oti had been appointed as returning officer for Abia State. Of course, I had known about her, but I never met her. So there was a little bit of confusion going through my head. She was appointed Vice Chancellor sometime in 2021. And I tried to, because of similarity of names, I tried to reach out to her. I didn't have her number, so somebody sent me her number. So I called, she didn't pick the call. I sent her a message, she didn't respond. I said, this woman that doesn't want to talk to me and doesn't want to respond to my message, let me just leave her. And she never responded to that message until today. I'm sure she's surprised. So when she was appointed returning officer, I was a little bit scared. To say, this woman that doesn't answer somebody, who knows what she will come to Abia to do. But then I left everything in the hands of God. And then she came and did something that people don't do. All the pressure that was mounted on her, she turned them down. And she did the right thing. And I want to use this podium this evening to recognize her and to thank her for what she did for Abia people. I think it's more like what she did for God, because she followed her conscience. If she didn't, I'll probably not be here today. The truth is that I had run election in Abia in 2015 and won it, but the wrong result was announced by the returning officer. 2019 was the same case. So if she announced anything, nothing would have happened. You go to court. It took 2 months or 3 months after my swearing in. I was at my house when a friend of mine, who is the Oni of Ife, called me. He was at Imo Airport and said, Your Excellency, I'm here with Professor Nnenna Oti. I said, really, I don't know her, I've not met her before. He said, okay, hold on and talk to her. So he handed over the microphone, the telephone to me, and that was the first time I spoke to her. It's important to bring all these things up because a few things have been said. Oh, of course she's my sister. But she's my sister from another mother in Ebonyi State, while I'm from Abia State. By the way, my mom was from Ebonyi State too, in Ubud. So somehow, maybe, you never know. But I thought it was appropriate to use this forum to thank her for the great job she did. And it's for Abia people to tell us whether there has been a change between that time and now. So while you are thanking God, you should also thank Professor Nnenna Oti. And that is why when I got this invitation, I said, no matter what happens, I'll be here. And thank God that I'm here. Congratulations the couple, congratulations the parents, congratulations everyone who found himself in this place. And if you are not yet married, my prayer is that your own day is coming. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you.